Will I survive is the question. The answer is...
Will you survive long enough to get back to the zone, the water zone?
Interesting question. I do not know. Okay, I got a couple of keys. Let's squeak out what power I can. Apparently when you're at full health, all health items become maximum health. I actually didn't know that one. I probably just wasn't paying attention, but that sounds like the kind of thing I should probably check out real quick. Snack time is up. You're right. Wow.
No, you need to get...
Now everybody knows that I was eating pizza. Oh well. Ugh. Thanks, guys. So where are we going? Yeah. Now the real pro move would be to finish this run with the snack time thing on while snacking incessantly.
What would you be able to conceivably snack on while playing a game?
Pretzels?
No, I'm imagining it can't be something that you have to reach back for. I am... do you...
Smoothies.
Oh, no, this is terrible. Oh, if you just have a long straw that's
wow,
somehow...
this room is visual noise.
Sticking up from somewhere, and then you just suck on it on occasion.
Mm-hmm.
No, the unfortunate thing is the first thing that came to mind was that odd commercial that your friends always bring up.
Long man?
Yes, long man.
Long man. Yeah.
It's an insane series.
It's so good. If you guys have not seen that,
commercials.
it's like maybe 10-11 minutes to watch the whole thing, and it's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Japanese commercials in general are kind of just like an amazing trip. Did you, I assume you haven't seen the Resident Evil 8 puppet commercials they did for Japan?
No.
It's like, we're not scary, and it's like the four lords
and
dancing
ones, yeah.
and like singing about how they're not actually scary, and you know, it's life is always really fun.
And then there's just blood everywhere.
No.
No?
No. No, they were just like doing it totally straight-faced. It was great. It was actually like kind of cute. But also, I know better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, the whole... What are they called? They're... The Long Man commercials are for this... Essentially, it's a sugary, fruity rope?
Yeah.
Tape thing? It would be as if the bubble tape that you used to get in the little bubble tape rolls, if it was just an edible taffy.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like a fruit roll-up. But I don't know. This Long Man stuff, it looks more opaque and pastel, like if you had extended... Oh, I know, an airhead.
Yeah.
It'd be like an airhead.
I was getting warhead and airhead mixed up in my head, and it's like, I know it's not a warhead. I know head's in the name, but it's been so long since I've had an airhead. Airheads tasted bad.
They did, and they felt weird, too.
Yeah, they were like this really bizarre...
Well, at least they were easier to chew on than Starbursts. Because Starbursts were just mildly softer than Laffy Taffies.
At least Starbursts had flavor, though.
Yeah. You're right. Airheads are very mild in comparison.
They were mild, and honestly, it was kind of like... It felt like if somebody had made edible tape. Not tape. Gosh.
Okay, an edible eraser putty. That's what it would kind of be like if you rolled it up.
Yeah.
Just so. Or squeezed it.
Barf.
Oh, what was it? 80s airheads were good, but they got nasty as they got cheaper in the 90s, Azrath says. Well, I suppose we're 90s kids, so we never got to experience the airhead of the 80s.
Honestly, I've kind of just
I didn't even know
checked out on a
airheads
lot
were
of
that
candy
old.
in general.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I've never had a Cadbury egg. People are mentioning Cadbury eggs.
Yeah, neither have I.
What are they filled with? Is it some kind of bizarre yolkish caramel thing, or is it something else?
I don't know. I know a couple of people that, like, swear by them.
I remember when we were
knew,
in
but-
Europe for a study abroad, we got to have the Kinder eggs. I got a tiny, fluffy elephant.
Those were kind of fun.
Whenever we get blind bags, do we just always acquire elephants?
Yeah.
Because we went to that...
We went to a bar
There was
downtown.
a Mexican bar in Portland, and they have this vending machine that's supposed to give you these little paper bags with your spirit animal in them, and they're really just inexpensive plastic toys. You know, the kind of thing that you would get from a science store
Yeah.
or something.
For like 50 cents for like a plastic elephant.
Mm-hmm.
It's totally not really worth it, but it was kind of a fun novelty.
So they, the Portland friends said, oh, you have to get your spirit animals, and we both got elephants.
Yep.
uh,
Yeah, cream eggs are super sugar at paste. Cadbury caramel eggs, though, are great. Yeah. Take your word for it. I've kind of cut a lot of candy out of my life. It's mostly just chocolate nowadays.
yeah, we haven't even been getting Lindor truffles, which was a weakness of ours.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think I'm going to be able to gosh.
It's funny how we're talking about candy of all things as you're
I'm trying to get
running
just
around.
a little bit more money. Because two more, and I can afford the big heal.
Many people are now directing the legality of Kinder eggs. Yeah, for a while they were banned in the United States because of the choking hazard that the small toys on the inside presented. But
Which
I think-
baffles me.
I think the ban has been lifted on them more recently.
Frankly, they weren't worth it.
Yeah, wasn't the other one that we had gotten? It had some kind of mini hang glider thing. And we threw that out because it wasn't even worth keeping.
Oh, I got it. Yes.
What were other candies that may have had toys or weird things inside them? I really think that's the only one I can... Now... Oh, for some reason I'm reminded of those lollipops. Remember the lollipops that either had the Tootsie Roll on the inside or the bubble gum?
Oh, yeah. Tootsie Pops or... I don't remember what the other ones were called. Tootsie Pops were passable. The bubblegum ones were vile.
Bubblegum was inconsistent with its texture. It'd be gritty almost at times. And then, of course, you'd be left with something that you couldn't digest. So, welp.
Blow Pops,
Blow
that's what it
Pops.
was. Oh, yeah, there was Wonder Ball.
Oh, Wonder Ball.
Yeah, what's in a Wonder Ball?
What's in a Wonder Ball?
Yeah,
I actually remember the tune for it.
copyright infringement.
Hey!
I see.
Oh, here's another one that I remember the commercial for. Baby bottle pops, baby
Ugh.
bottle pops.
Those were
Suck a
weird.
pop, lick it and take it, you can do it again. Oh gosh. Yeah, just those are bad.
And
I
nasty
think I
thing
had
about-
one once, and wasn't there something similar that it was a stick? It was just a pure white candy pops, like a tongue compressor stick, and you dipped it
Yeah,
in powder as well.
that at least had mild merits. But even then, it wasn't very good. Whoa.
Oh, this is interesting.
I've never fought critters out here.
Yeah, the pillars rose up to meet you.
If there's anything interesting in these sides, because there were the caves previously. Doesn't look like it.
Oh, do you know what's another thing I hated, aside from those sticks with the sugar that you dipped? Those pixie sticks.
Oh.
I never understood pixie sticks. I think it's because for me, it presented an issue with the fact that people would accidentally inhale them as they were eating them.
They definitely burned if you did it wrong.
Well, and also, I felt like I could never produce enough saliva to actually wet all the powder as it got in your mouth. So, ugh. Also, I'm just not fond of candies that are pure sugar. With the exception of, I suppose I do have a weakness for marshmallows. I will just take a batch of marshmallows by the handful.
Marshmallows kind of have a utility beyond, though.
Well, and also marshmallows, I suppose there is a marshmallow plant. It has a unique flavor to it. Ah, drones!
Was not expecting...
Oh no, everyone in chat. No, that's terrible. Inhaling it intentionally. The pixie sticks. I wonder if that's why I haven't seen them around.
I can't touch the orb again.
Guys, Smarties, really? People did that with Smarties? I remember Smarties and Dum Dums were the favorite candies of teachers. Though, I wonder if people would always favor Smarties over Dum Dums, or if people would have preferred Dum Dums. If you had to choose betwixt Dum Dums and Smarties.
Dum Dums, 100%.
You choose Dum Dums.
Smarties were noxious.
Smarties were essentially sugar tablets.
Yeah.
There's just something about them. Oh, do you know what I liked? Their odd half brother, the sweet tarts.
Yeah. Sweet tarts weren't bad.
Sweet tarts were, I think, slightly larger, and because they were so sour, they definitely had, I think they were harder too. You really had to crack them.
Yeah.
Between your teeth. But yeah, when you went out for Halloween, what were the candies that you would favor the most?
Milky Way.
You like Milky Way? I'm surprised you didn't say Twix, considering how often you requested them. When we would occasionally get
So I always
candies.
thought Twix had nuts in them.
Which is, so you wouldn't be a Snickers guy.
Yeah.
The Snickers have the nuts.
Very big nut kind of guy.
Do you know what's a weird thing I did with Three Musketeers? I'd eat all the chocolate off the exterior and only have the nougat to then, you know, pop in my mouth at the very end. Because I really liked that nougat.
What I really liked, very specifically, was I really liked to freeze Milky Way. It would give it a nice crunch. But it wasn't ever, like, too hard. So it never felt, like, ridiculous.
I have a feeling that if you tried to freeze a Three Musketeers, it would get harder.
Yeah, it would.
Probably
but actually,
because...
it gave it a nice crunch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I liked freezing Three Musketeers almost as much.
But the caramel probably added a little something to the Milky Ways. Now, what did you think of Milky Way Midnights?
That was just with the dark chocolate, yeah?
They had dark chocolate, but also marshmallow.
Didn't care about the marshmallow.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even think about it. Was not worth my attention. Okay, this one's got legs. Where did he die? Oh.
Oh, you can see the ashen form of him on the ground. We're also talking about Kit Kats. Give me a break, give me a break, break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. I see. Having memorable jingles was
important.
Very important back in the 90s. Oh yeah, the green tea ones. Yeah, I like having the matcha and the odd flavors that you can get from particularly Japanese grocery stores. They had other ones. I really liked the Hojicha Kit Kats. Because it has a more musky tea flavor, because Hojicha is a roasted green tea, I believe. So even though it looks brown when you prepare it, yeah.
Can I have a little bit more room?
Ah, sorry that my butt's taking up the couch.
Yeah, just a little bit too much bude.
Oh.
Well, they didn't drop a gun for me, did they? Oh. Oh, yeah, that's not even a treasure chest. Really? I mean, I guess benefit of this room was the sheer amount of health pickups that I got. Those were good. I'm just used to those guys giving me like a max health up. Let's see. I'm toasty. I guess we never did turn the AC over, but then again, it's been cold the last couple days.
Yeah, it's been darker and potentially rainy.
I'd very much like to go back to Europe and get a bunch of candy.
Ooh.
Nah, let's not even bother reading it.
Wait, but it said I was rejected from Olympus.
Yeah, but it's like half translated. Why bother?
Split apart. Stuck on Endymion. Oh, yeah, this is the one that we had half read. Cotton candy. I suppose I don't really see it sold at stores often.
I see it sold occasionally, and I'm just kind of like, ugh.
I always wonder how it was first invented, how you could spin sugar.
I think it was an accident.
I'm pretty sure most every food or recipe was at some point an accident or an experiment. Because I'm pretty sure things like fermentation, maybe bread rising, so much can be probably attributed to an accident.
Oh, I would like to get the funds. Ow. Oh, ow. Oof.
Weird candy I got as a kid that I don't know if I see much of anymore is it's an ice cream cone with a marshmallow in it.
Ooh.
That's kind of whipped up as though it was ice cream.
Weird.
But I only ever saw it when I was a really little kid.
A wee young lass.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what did you think of Nerds?
I like Nerds.
I think they had that tartness to them, and because they were misshapen little nugget things.
And sometimes you'd find, like, the alpha nerd that was just, like...
the alpha nerd!
Freaking huge.
A giant clump.
Do they still make nerd rope? Huh.
Oh, isn't that just a
It's
gushy
nerd, but
rope
it had, like, a gummy
nerds?
bit in between.
I've never had one of those. Now I remember having pink nerds and purple nerds. But were there other nerds?
I think it was mostly just pink and purple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nerd's rope.
Oh, cherry. And there were also rainbow. Okay. Do you know what's an odd habit that I have when I eat mix packs of, say, M&Ms or Skittles and the like? I like to tabulate the distribution of colors in every package that I get. I'd be one of those annoying people that will, you know, maybe open up multiple packages just to see what the distribution of colors is in a particular type of candy. But then, so this is an interesting thing about Wander and I. Wander will eat his least favorite thing first on a plate, and then eat his favorite things last. And I wouldn't be surprised if you also did that with mixed bags of candy, wouldn't you?
100%.
Whereas,
I'd even just do it with
so you would be the kind of guy who, if you really didn't like lemon, you would just eat all the lemon versions of the candy before going on to, say, cherry or apple.
yes.
Whereas I like to split them all up, and if there's an excess of a particular flavor, I will eat it until all of them are equal, and then I will go in a cycle around and around and eat each one down until there's only one of each left, and then I will go from least favorite to favorite. It's weird.
Okay. I have no idea what my special is.
Ah, the perfect bite. What is the perfect bite? Save the best for last.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, I save the best for last too, but I make sure that everything's equally eaten before the last.
So, I think part of it is, like, I'm real big on flavor gestalts, if that makes any sense. And so if there's a flavor profile that does not match the rest... Whoop!
Wow!
Uh-oh,
he teleported.
But yeah, one that doesn't match the rest, I will straight up, be, like, far less interested in having that concurrently with everything else. Really?
I suppose the reason why I eat things cyclically is because I find that for me, flavor is pretty important, but texture also is. And I prefer being able to vary the textures that I'm consuming as I'm eating a meal. So this obviously doesn't apply to the candy, but if I'm eating a meal that, say, has salad, soup, and you know, a main course dish, what I will do is I'll eat a little bit of each, and then maybe a little bit more of the soup and salad because those are considered more like an appetizer, and then finish off with the entree. But you know, I try to eat bits of each because maybe I want the crunch and freshness of the lettuce of the salad. Maybe I want the savory warmth of the soup, and then whatever the, you know, texture or usually the entree itself is more filling than either of the other two. But you know what I'm getting at.
Mm-hmm. I know what you're getting at. But for me, it's like, earlier today we had... let's see. Earlier today we had...
I had made Salisbury steak with peas and stuffing.
Yeah.
With chopped celery.
And more or less, as part of it, I ate all the peas first. What's up?
Water.
I ate all the peas first. And then I moved on to the, stuffing and the Salisbury steak simultaneously. It's because the stuffing and the Salisbury steak have kind of a similar flavor profile.
Well, they're both salty.
And generally texture. You know, kind of soft, salty things.
Oh, but I like peas. Then again, those weren't the best peas that we've gotten. Because if we had gotten those Cascadia peas, it would have been a different story.
A little bit, yeah.
Those are some good peas.
I think canned peas would have been okay.
Ew! What?
I like canned peas.
For me, on the hierarchy of canned, frozen, and fresh, it would probably go, you know, fresh to frozen to canned. I find that canned vegetables tend to take on they're a little mushier. They might have more salt to them because of the fluid that they've been. What would you call it? If something has just been sitting in it for a long period of time.
I mean, honestly, pickling.
Pickling. I mean, I suppose that's what pickles do in vinegar.
Yeah.
Brining.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm taking other vocabulary from chat. I mean, I suppose you can also say it wouldn't be the same, but festering, absorbing. I know that there's a term for when someone has been like decaying in their own juices, but they didn't use the word decay.
Fester?
No, I just said fester. I don't know. I'll think of it at some point.
Marinating.
Marinate! I think that's, yeah, marinating. Because, interestingly enough, that is another term for used quite often as a preparation method for food. Because, yeah, they're, especially with proteins, meat, tofu, things of that nature, having it in a sauce or a marinade, it acquires all of the salt, the sugar, the spices, and it kind of seeps into it.
There we go.
Yeah. People are talking about sour stuff. I like sour things, but with the warheads that we were talking about before, the only flavor that I could tolerate, you know, by tolerate I mean be able to put my mouth and not make that face that's, well, on the packaging of warheads, would be the black cherry flavor. I don't know if the black cherry flavor is one of the milder flavors, but it seemed as though the sourness dissipated just soon enough so that you could start acquiring the sweetness from it. So that was my favorite warhead flavor. It was in the black packaging, I think.
Warheads were okay for me until I got one that, like, you know how sometimes when you're sucking on a warhead or whatever, and it'll like kind of get rough edges internally?
Oh yeah, the way that they were assembled, it almost seemed as though they were hollow on the interior, wasn't it?
Yeah, and so sometimes
the edge would crack open and you could have an edge.
Yeah, and so I cut my tongue on a warhead. And let me tell you, that whole, like, bitter sourness...
Oh, got into your wound.
Real stingy. Did not appreciate. Was perfectly fine with passing on that.
Ooh, another sour thing that I haven't heard brought up. The Sour Patch Kids. One of the few gummies that I actually enjoy having.
Yeah, those I can get behind.
I wonder what the new flavors are like. They added blue more recently.
I just have zero interest. It's just
I
one
know.
of those where it's like...
We're starting to get into more sustainable regional candies and confectionaries. Not so much the mass market branded ones that you see all over. Watermelon. Yeah, watermelon I find is a very, very difficult flavor to capture with candy. It usually doesn't come out right.
You know what thing I like that's watermelon flavored? Watermelon.
Of course. I mean, you gotta get it from its source,
Holy
right?
shit, look at that.
No, a good watermelon is just the taste of summer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We need to get a watermelon constantly this week, or this year.
How about a honeydew?
Okay. I thought you hate... Oh, no, you don't like cantaloupe.
Cantaloupes I do not like, but honeydews I do.
I'm up for both. We just actually have to remember to eat them. We're kind of bad about eating fresh things.
Yeah, if they sit in the refrigerator too long, we forget about them. Yeah.
Lollipops have a delicious watermelon flavor. Huh.
I find that of the hard candies, the lollipops, they tend to have better watermelon. But yeah, soft things, less so. It just boggles my mind too that for many candies, the flavors are mimicked by various compounds. They're not even derived from the fruits that they're named after. Hence this is, you know, natural and artificial flavors, aka artificial flavors. Jolly Ranchers were mentioned. No, they haven't. But, yeah, Jolly Ranchers were good too.
Jolly Ranchers went the exact same way as most hard candies for me, which is...
The one thing about them is they get stuck on your teeth. They get stuck on my teeth.
That bit's not so bad for me. For me, it remains... Hard candies sometimes get sharp.
Yeah.
And then I cut my tongue on them, and as a person who likes to talk, any kind of food, candy, confectionery, doesn't matter, that like has a chance of harming me, instantly just
compromises your oral facilities.
Well, yeah, it instantly ends up on my shit list. Because like, why should I ever eat a candy that is like going to make it harder on me? I think that's part of the reason why I'm just kind of like tepid on candy in general, is because like...
But you'd like Werther's, wouldn't you?
Yes. Because Werther's, unlike most candies...
are very rounded.
Very rounded, and rarely, if ever, have that like, kind of internal air pockets that turn sharp.
For Werther's, for those of you who don't know what they are, they're a butterscotch candy. Because lifesavers were brought up, they are circles with a little divot in the middle, but they aren't a donut like a lifesaver would be. Calling them butterscotch is doing them a disservice. Well, aren't they butterscotch? I thought that they were butterscotch flavored. And I mean, they're maybe creamier or milkier than those, but...
This is a Warframe type game.
Werther's are supposed to be caramel? I suppose the interesting thing is I actually looked up the distinction with Wander one time when we were making butterscotch and caramel. They're actually prepared in a similar fashion, but butterscotch uses butter in addition to the sugar.
Yeah.
Whereas caramel is
just toasted
water
sugar,
and sugar. Yeah.
How many of these suckers do I have? 2.
Oh yeah, you're a big fan of malts, aren't you?
Yes.
Wander loves malts.
Malted milk balls are great. Malted milkshakes are great. Are there any other malts?
And the funny thing about malts is a malt just a dry nugget? Like a nougat?
Maybe.
They have a similar flavor,
Wow.
but I don't know.
I was gonna say, this room looks like ass. Why would I ever do this? And then here I am, doing it. Oh. This... Totally safe.
I mean, I can look up. It does. I'm gonna look up this thing about caramel and butterscotch again, because now I think people are confused about it. And I'm a little confused about it too.
For you. Or bouncy
Haha,
ball.
it's one of the first results.
It's real good.
Caramel is often made with granulated sugar, while butterscotch is made with brown sugar. Butterscotch candies are often harder than caramel candies, which are chewy and soft. But they are both made with similar ingredients, so maybe they both do have butter in them. Okay. But if it's the difference between brown and granulated white sugar... But maybe butterscotch also has more butter in it. Hence butterscotch?
Be interesting to actually try and start making your own caramels. That was dicey.
Yep, so they both use butter, but I suppose butterscotch uses brown sugar instead of white sugar.
Oh.
Oof.
The things I do for power.
Now, something that I'd love to learn how to make, but I'm pretty sure I'd be horrified while doing so, would be fudge.
Oh, just by the amount of stuff put into
Just
it?
the sheer amount of butter and dairy that you might have to put into fudge.
I always found fudge kind of gross, but I think that just has to do with the fact that I kept winning it as... Okay.
Winning it?
Yeah, so I used to do... I told you about how I did fancy dancing classes.
Oh, yeah. What is it called? It starts with a C. Cotillion. Yeah, so the fudge I'm thinking of is the one that almost looks like artisanal body soap.
Alright, Rito, you're right. This is good.
You know, in a bar.
Yeah.
Bar fudge. It is sad though. I remember my friend we've been wanting to look at plastic-free soaps and shampoos and stuff, and one of my friends suggested a brand of soap bars. So I was looking at them, but because they had all of these different scents and aromas that were derived from herbs and fruits and things that you would normally have, you know, to eat. You look at these pictures and you go, mint fudge. And I go, wait, no. That is not mint fudge. That is a mint soap bar. But they look exactly like fudge.
Oh, hey. I got the money I need. But honestly, I'm not even going to try and risk that.
Now, the one flavor of fudge that I definitely have a weakness for would be maple fudge.
Maple fudge is good.
Maple fudge.
Not too common outside of Canada.
Canada?
Canada. Does that have what? Oh. Is it ball? It is ball! Eat tentacles, ball!
Now, is that holding its head?
I think so, yeah.
statue appears to be holding
Yeah.
its head.
The head popped off.
Actually, look, that one's pointing to it.
Dude, check out this nerd. He caught his head.
Hey.
Now he's dead.
Whoa. I mean, I suppose that isn't terrible. They're alternating.
I can hang out back
They don't
here.
even go to the edge of the room.
It's mostly just the surprise of it than the actual danger.
Mm-hmm. That last one is a cursed
Yeah,
block.
but I don't really mind.
Random artifact disabled. I don't like that. Oh, did they disable your med pack? How dare they?
Maybe. Oh! I didn't know these could go up to 4 perks.
Blade pulse.
Shit, that's real good.
Oh, hey, is that an ether?
Yep. But I need ethers that much.
Not even to get extra lives?
Valid. Look at me. The thing is, I need the extra lives not in this region. Though, I don't know. This run absolutely feels like it's got a decent chance. The really just question is, what lurks beyond? Because the ocean area is kind of dicey. Ethers can cleanse your corrupted pickups, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but I usually hoard them to unlock,
Caustic Husk Weaver and
yeah,
Gold
neither of them
Stalker.
are useful.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Primarily because I'm full up on parasites. Can't stack anymore.
How many parasites do you have then?
5.
5 parasites?
Yeah.
One for each limb and one on your back?
Yep.
Is
Nice
that how
thing
it
about
works?
nice thing about it is I've got an artifact that specifically increases my stagger value. Let's see. Well, that's rude.
That it is.
Let's see. Oh no. I might want to still go back for the electro pylon. We will see.
Wow.
Rude.
That one smashed itself. Yep.
Yeah, they do that occasionally.